Welcome to another exciting episode of ZoeTV. And this week, I'm not solo. I got my wingman, but Kay is hustling and busy and doing grant work. So my guest, Mr. Mark Hamilton, the one and only, we're going to hold the fort down. We're going to talk through so many things that we are working on behind the scenes, a lot of the outcomes that we generated, not only through neuropathy, but through what you're doing in your strength and balance class, and I think what our goals will be for fall. We have so many things we're unveiling over the next month, and I think it's a great platform to be able to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about your wedding, because everybody on campus knows you got married. I want to give some time to that because it was an amazing event, and everybody wants to know all the nitty-gritty about it. So why don't we start with your strength and your balance classes? Let's talk about what that looks like. How does somebody become involved? What is this situation? Break it down for us.
Sure. Just for need is, the programs all started from, we didn't want people to fall. Right. And the strength and balance is just that. It's a two-part class. We work on strength and predominantly leg strength. Mm-hmm. Anything that's going to affect your balance, some flexibility so our hips aren't tight. And we do a little of that. We want to increase the strength as part of it, and then we want to do the balance. Their classes are 5 days a week, mm-hmm. and it's meant to drop in when it's good for you. So you don't have to sign up, you don't have to commit, you don't have to be there every day. So if you need the help, drop in. Some days we have 6 people, some days we have 16 people. It just varies every day, and it really is a group, and they cheer for each other, and it's just an exciting group, and they really, because everybody's getting that progress. And if you're having trouble with balance, and you see you're getting a little, and they're just really happy to see that every time. Yeah. And it's just a really good feeling in that group. A lot of positive, a lot of energy. We go through a lot of just basic balance exercises and things to make our balance better.
Sure.
And pick the foot up a little better, just be a little more sure about our footing. And it's just amazing, as I say, just improve. Mm-hmm. And then we just raise the bar just a little bit, mm-hmm. and make it a little more challenging. And it's very exciting, and their balance is getting better. And I'm hearing that, and I see them, a little bit farther on their steps, a little bit better with the balance, keeping the head up a little bit more, yes. A little more assured. It's just really great. It's exciting to be there.
Well, we were lucky enough to have Marlo on the show last week, and Marlo gave great testimony to the class itself because it's one of the things and one of the only things from a fitness perspective she does. So it was a big change for her, in being that she's 99 now. Yeah. I'm going to go all in on this class. I'm going to show up as often as I can, sometimes every time you offer it. And that is her mode of working on all things fitness. And I think it checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people because, like you said, you don't have to sign up in advance. You don't have to be a part of a bigger program to get into the class. You can go at your leisure, and you can pick 2 days a week, 1 day a week, 3 days a week. And I know a lot of residents that are doing the workout video, whether it's in the university room with us, with the group, or in their room, and then making that their afternoon activity. So they're getting something to wake up, get some circulation going in the morning, have a great day, and then swing down there at 2 o'clock and pick up that back end of a workout. And that's a 2-a-day workout. We couldn't ask for more.
Oh, it's absolute. And she is, I said, Marlo's a rock star in there. She's in there almost every day. Mm-hmm. Works on our balance. We go out of our way. We're in between the parabolic wires. We move out of the way to make sure no one falls. There's no slips. Yeah. There's none of that's going on. So it's very safe. It's a little more of a relaxed workout than a lot of our seated and a lot of our stuff, which is a real high pace, boom, boom, boom.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and so it's a slower workout. We're really working on, quality as far as quantity. It's a nice, slow, this is what we're working on, getting that balance is perfect. And so there is some time. It's not one thing after another. Yes. You do your thing, and then there's a little break.
But during the break, what I love about what you've set up is it's not a break where everybody just goes and mingles and wanders off. And then you're yelling at somebody, come back, it's your turn, it's your turn. Yeah. Everybody is engaged around the parallel bars and cheering on.
Absolutely.
And so you have the social dynamic, pillar of Zoe life, engaged in the physical dynamic, and then the emotional side of this connection that everyone is having as a family down there. And what I've seen is we bring somebody new into your fold, and they are welcomed. Not now we got another person in line. It is we got another person in line.
Group, yeah.
Like they're so happy about that.
Yeah, it's amazing, and one of those things that serendipitous. I didn't plan that by any means, and it just happened. It was that's one of the greatest things, and they really do, and they're aware of you, and they want to know where you are. Even the people that are just been, where is she? What is she okay? What's going on with her? And it's exciting to see when they come in, and I know they feel it because boy, people started hanging the back a little bit, and they just bring them right in there and get them involved.
Well, let's talk real quick about the first half hour is the strength.
Correct.
Then you transition to balance.
Yes.
So talk about the distinction between the two. Can someone come just for strength and then leave, or just
absolutely.
for balance, or how do you break the two down?
And it's a lot like our seated workout classes. Some people come their first 5 minutes and they're done. They're gassed out for the day. That's more than they've done in a while.
And
so
that's okay.
They look at me and say, "Okay, if I go home now." Absolutely. You can go for 1, 2, or drop in and out. If you get tired, sit down. Relax. We don't want. We're working on your balance. We don't want you to be tired and stumble. We want you at your peak. And the classes, so we work on strength. Inner thigh strength. Do our knees come in when we stand? So we're working on that to keep the knees out. We have exercises just for that. We work on that. We work on a lot of leg strength. Is safe as to start to stand. We might put a little weight on one foot, hold both the bars, and raise the other a little while, just to get that weight on one leg.
I think what you said about quality versus quantity is so good, because what you're really working on is biomechanics. What muscles are engaging, when are they engaging on simple movements?
Sure.
So you're incorporating your core and you're engaging your hip flexors, and you have all these muscles that everybody has, but some are atrophied and some have gotten older.
Absolutely.
But getting those to fire in the sequence that makes sense for safety.
Absolutely, and get them right. We've adjusted, or our body's adjusted for us how we're sitting or standing anymore, and it's not really helping us, causing some pain and dysfunction. So we go through, rebuild the muscles to take this, so we're standing more up than out, right?
Yes.
And it's exciting to see that as people go through. It's just a heartwarming class, and it's just slow, steady progress, and it's just great to see.
That's awesome. Okay, so no one needs an assessment; they can just come down and do that.
They absolutely can. I'm trying to go through with the class now and get the assessments because I've seen such results in the changes, and I want to document those. But they don't have to, and they can come in.
But I think the goal will be, if you come in, you pop in, let's get a little momentum, but then let's get an assessment.
Yeah, let's get an assessment.
We understand where you are, because we talked about them all the time on the show and everywhere we go. The assessments are key, so we kind of have a baseline, and it's standardized fitness tests.
Yep.
It's a lot of baseline numbers that we can compare you to the national average and say, hey, you're way behind, or look at you, great job. And we get you on the scale, and we look at your body weight and your muscle mass and your body fat and your visceral fat.
Bone density, bet.
There's so many elements in that assessment, which is so fun. So we encourage you, no matter the number, this man is going to make it happen. The group welcomes you. So if you walk in and you see a lot of bodies there, don't be intimidated.
Yeah, just come on over.
Just wander over to the parallel bars. Okay, let's talk neuropathy. We talk about it all the time on the show, but it is truly, ZoeLife has morphed into one of the main programs of ZoeLife has become neuropathy. And because it's so prevalent in this population of over 65. I mean, the numbers are staggering. And some people don't even know they have neuropathy. It's just a symptom of, I don't feel my feet like I did, or my balance is being affected, I don't know why, or I've got burning, or I step on cardboard and pebbles, or what is this? And so when we started this program, I can't believe we're almost to beta. I mean, we're beyond beta at this point, but group 5. We have learned a lot together on what we thought, outcomes, what we thought could work, what did work, what we were surprised by. But what excited you about the last group? Because the last group we've talked about on the show, 17 people, are really split down the middle of assisted living and independent living coming together, which just I love, and I know you love, to see that atmosphere of stop siloing AL and IL. Let's bring them together, and let's do programmatic pieces at the same time. What was a standout for you from that group?
The standout, backtrack just a little bit. I think all the great groups are great, and it's just like the first child compared to the middle child, like you talked about. The first, we worked with them, they learned. Some things went really good, and built from there. But this group, I'd have to say it was an all-in group. Diet, exercise, events, and just showing up and being there and getting it done. Whether they agreed with it or not, even on the religious portion,
Yes.
that one. Some people did not want to do that. They didn't want to be involved in that. They had their own beliefs, their own stuff. And then they showed up because they were committed to the program. They
Right.
did the steps they were asked to do. And then I heard comments like, it made me really rethink about what I was doing, what I believed in, what I thought. And it just brought that piece of their life back in. And, just going through and thinking about what's important to us, and so that was beautiful. But if you ask for one thing, it's they were all in.
Yeah.
They were showing up for everything. They were on time. They were ready to go, and they wanted to do it. And we got some amazing results. I mean, it was just, and it could almost, like you said in the program, the more they did, that was just like another amplifier, a multiplier on the results, and the results just got better and better for them.
I think what I saw from this group, being 17, that's always a number we like.
Yeah,
that's at the top of what we can handle. But 17, we always kind of factor in, we're going to get a few fallouts.
Absolutely.
Let's take 20 because we might get 17 to commit and get through to the end. We started 17 and we behind the scenes thought, okay, if we post test 14, that's going to be a good number.
Yeah.
We started at 17, stayed at 17, and the excitement lever never went down. It was continuous and growing to what we saw with every group at the end. I want to keep going. I don't want to stop.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, there's another group coming behind me. What about me?
Yeah.
And so it's fun to figure out that next step for those bodies. Okay, here's your new schedule. Here's what you're working on. And that new lease on life is like what you talked about. Adding that Bible study element is so critical. And it just hones in on not only the spiritual element, but just the factor of tapping into that emotional state of hearing things maybe again for the first time, but reframed through Stan, and just unleashing a little bit of joy and unleashing a little bit of, I'm going to let my defenses down and talk about some stuff. And all of a sudden, it's like you add that component with exercise and nutrition. It's everything we layered. And like you said, the outcomes were there.
And one of the exciting outcomes was the depression scale outcomes. We looked at those, and the people had everything was going up. Now, which piece was it? Which was the magic piece? Was it a combination of all of them?
All of them together.
Yeah, but every single one of the depression scales, they were all happier.
Yes.
They were all happier, and some people that had been really shy were, in their own way, getting more outgoing, and they were getting more involved, and that was phenomenal.
One of the questions that got me on that depression scale was, well, there's a couple. Are you bored? And a lot came in on the pre-test of yes.
Yes.
And bored at Glencroft is like an oxymoron. But everybody's in their own season of life.
Yep.
And so despite all that's happening outside your window and on your door, you can sit in that chair and become bored. And those answers completely switched 6 weeks later to, I am not bored at all. I am so happy and so busy.
Busy, yes.
Busy versus bored, I
absolutely.
think is a huge outcome.
Yeah, we had people that hadn't been out in how long, out of their place to their
Since
room.
they moved into Glencroft.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even believe that. All this has been going on. I didn't even know this was here. I didn't know if that was available, which, we'd heard a little bit at the start, but I mean, to see them and realize what was available, and even, having Lish come in and talk about what on their food options and what they could do differently, and a lot of people didn't even know that was available for them.
I know. Well, okay, so we are on the cusp of the next group, which is going to be in mid-July. So what we're asking, and we already have a full whiteboard of names, okay? We have a few slots left, and basically how it works is if you want to become involved in the next group, you can walk down to the Performance Center, you can call the Performance Center, you say, put me on the list. I want to put in my application, I want to get a phone call back, whatever it is, and we're going to take that group of names and we're going to start figuring out where on campus everybody is, who's taken part in previous ones, because we got a lot of names of previous neuropathy groups that want in, and I don't blame them. But the goal is to work with the new bodies that have never gotten the chance to do it. So we're dissecting the names and putting them and compiling them. But you got a couple weeks to get that done. But you have to get it in by the very kind of first week of July so that we have enough time on the back end to create the group. We got some slides up on Channel 2 We got posters going
Posters
up, so
coming, you
a
bet.
lot of information out there on the neuropathy group. But this is your chance, and it's your chance to get on the black box. A lot of you out there on the waiting list for the box, that's incorporated into the program. The hot cold, which we weren't sure how it was going to be received, is probably one of the top 2 things on our outcomes that said that changed everything for me. So hot cold contrast, where we put your feet in ice and then dip them in the heat, it is loved at the end, not at the beginning, but at the end, it is loved on. And then obviously all of the exercise, all of the meals over at Copper Club, where we get special guests to come lecture to our people. Just an exciting, and it's always a 6-week commitment. And so for more information, obviously reach out and get your name on the list. All right, we got a lot going on beyond that. Leading age.
Oh, yeah.
Leading Age. Leading Age, for those of you out there, it's a big group. It's a national organization dedicated to seniors, helping seniors thrive, helping senior living facilities understand government and all the policies. There's so many branches of Leading Age that really helps operators like our Glencroft. Every state has its own chapter. In Arizona Leading Age, we work in tandem with on a lot of things. A lot of our senior staff is working directly with that team. But every October, they do a Arizona Leading Age fitness challenge for seniors. And we had done it years and years ago. We took a hiatus. COVID hit. They kind of stopped. And last year was our triumphant return to the games. And Mark and I took over 10 residents. And I don't think we dominated, but we set the tone. The Glencroft is back. And we got some cool pieces coming out in Glencroft Living about the games, but it's a good time to talk about it because that's coming up in our transition and timeline to build a team at Glencroft that we just don't handpick, that is actually competed for and teams are created, is going to happen this summer. So starting in July, we are going to transition the university room on Mondays at 2 o'clock to mimic what happens at North Phoenix Baptist Church for these senior games. And what that means is parts of the room are going to be dedicated to 4 of the 5 events. So we're going to have basketball bounce, where you take a basketball and you bounce it into a trash can. We're going to have bag toss, where you throw the bean bags in the little wood slats. And some people call it cornhole, I call it bag toss. Then we have a half-mile speed walk that we'll put around the perimeter of the room. And then what am I missing?
Obstacle course.
Obstacle course. So just various little fun things to get you moved that are timed. Those are the 4 events. The 5th one is the Wii Bowling, and that'll be in the Activity Center. But I will tell you, I am looking forward to Mondays at 2 o'clock to see who comes down. It's kind of like your class. Open invite. Whoever wants to come down, even if you don't think you want to play in the games or compete, come down. We're going to have the music on. We're going to be playing games. We're just going to have some fun, but it'll give you the chance to practice. So we're going to practice in July and August. And then in September, we're going to actually have a campus competition to build our team.
Absolutely.
And then coming off of that, once we have the winners, and because we can only bring 10 people over to this event, and the event, what I really like about it is it's broken down into ages. So I think I might get this a little off, but I think it was 65 to 74, 75 to 84, and then 85 plus. I think we're the 3 categories. And every resident can only compete in one of the events. So they do a great job. And there's going to be a lot more coming out about it. But with having you on, and we were the kind of the faces of it and made sure it happened, right? What's your takeaway from that? Do you enjoy that kind of competitive side?
Yeah, I thought it was very well done. And people, even our team, which we didn't get the chance to go through and build it like we're talking about this year, they came together very quickly, and it was fun. I like the fact we're going to go in a little more prep this year.
Yep.
And we still had some great results, and people certainly knew we were there last year.
We knew that. We took a gold and a silver, and the Glencroft Living magazine will tell you who won. I'm going to leave that one in the dark, but I'm excited about it, and I do hope we get a filled room. We're going to take assisted living and independent living over to this. The goal is never to go there to try to dominate, even though we talk like we do. It's to have fun, right? It's there to have camaraderie. I'll never forget walking or driving over on the team bus and just the laughs that we had, leaving with gold medals and holding them out the window at the other shuttles
that was
and
fun.
just flexing that we won. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I love.
Oh,
and
it
I
was
love
good
about
time.
Glencroft because our residents find joy in that. And it's just an awesome thing. Okay, so we got 5 minutes. Let's dive into your wedding because it was something that was planned for a little while, but not like a 2-year plan.
Yeah.
But it came out, at least from an observation, it came out perfect.
I absolutely, and even before that, right before I left, it was just amazing. I went down. We went down to the center. I was completely oblivious. They walked me into the performance center. I'm thinking, what are these people doing in here? And it just really warmed my heart. They had a pre-function for me and had some people there, and it was just really nice to connect with the residents. And then, as you said, the wedding was just, if everything could have gone right, everything went right from start to finish, and really felt God. I felt like angels were in the room. I just really felt a lot of God and love in there. Jerry Martin did the services for me, and Bonnie came in and did a lot of background stuff. We didn't even ask her to, and she did, and everybody was so grateful for that. And it was just wonderful from start to finish. It was just, I couldn't have asked for more, and everybody seemed to have a good time. And one of the really nice things was I had some strife in my family, as I'm sure a lot of families do. And I saw some bonding. I saw people hugging each other that hadn't seen each other in 5 or 10 years, and they were talking. And I was just so grateful that for the wedding and everything that entailed there.
That's amazing.
It was at the Arizona Broadway Theater. It was just beautiful.
Which is a beautiful venue. I'd never been in there. I couldn't believe how nice this place was.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely stunning.
I loved everything that you did with it. I thought it was just very tasteful. Jerry and Bonnie were incredible, like
Absolutely.
you said. I mean, he's going through a lot, and the campus is just prayer warriors for that family. But I think Jerry, it was on his heart to do this with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, for you, but with you. And I think that's where he separates himself. I just watch him come alongside whoever he's working with. He's like, he's all in.
Oh, he spends time before. He wanted to get to know, my bride, myself, what was important to us, what do we believe in, and then he helped us craft, literally craft what we were trying to do and accomplish, and he had a big hand in that, as we feel God did as well.
Well, it was amazing. How many family did you actually have come in town? What did that look like?
Well, my poor sister got stuck in the Miami airport with 400 other flights.
On the plane.
Yeah, on the plane, on the tarmac for almost 8 hours.
Oh my
And like I said, glitch in the thing, and the 400 flights are canceled, so I didn't see there. But I had 12 family members actually make it from north of Arizona. I mean, from North Carolina and Washington and Miami, and so. Missed on a few, but it was great to see the ones that came, and it was just like I said, that together, and it felt like all the people there were a family. Just as the longer I'm here, the more Glencroft feels like a family. It's not, it really is a family here, and they care for each other, and I really felt that there, and that was really wonderful. Yeah, and I was happy you were able to be there, and it was just a great experience.
It was. I loved watching the dynamics, being that you're older now, and to have that marriage, that second marriage, but having your son in the wedding, her daughter, and I mean, it was the optics of it were so different, but so amazing. And then the speeches that came out from both of them were so heartfelt. Your son did a great job, a great toast, but just that perspective of, as an older son, wanting this so bad for you, and to have that emotion come out of it's so amazing to see you're happy. It was just like.
Yeah, it was really good. That was, like I said, that was amazing. And even seeing there's definitely different generations there, and seeing the whole thing, and then right at the end, as we got, they sort of took over the show at the end and just let her go. They just danced and had a lot of fun.
Well,
so
that's
that
what
was
weddings
nice.
are for. I mean, and I think you said sometimes a little separation of family, and then you have an event like that. It brings some healing and some closure, and you kind of mend some fences.
Yeah, we gave out the the little mini lanterns on everybody, and that was we did because we just want to be a light in the darkness in our own way. Let's do what we can to create a little light. Yeah.
Well, you got a lovely wife. I mean,
I got
she's
lucky.
special. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
I do know how you did it. You got as big as you are, you got a bigger heart, and that whenever you talk to her, that's the first thing she says about you. I fell in love with his heart. His muscles are great, but I love his heart. I mean, those are her words. So we thank you as always for being on this campus. You're doing so much for our residents, and I couldn't ask for a better wingman in this drive for Zoe Life of changing senior living. I mean, it's what we're both called to do, and we're doing it with the biggest campus in Arizona.
Absolutely.
And it is. I keep saying it, but the more we tap into assisted living and memory care and dementia and all these aspects of getting these residents that have been they're cared for so great in these buildings, but exposed to some of the other places on campus, you can just see them light up. I mean, we're almost out of time, but just being in the water with the residents from Sarah's Place or Friendship House or out on the outdoor workout with them and seeing their joy of being outside, sunlight, exercising, sweating. I mean, they're going, what is this?
Oh, yeah.
And
then,
it's just, it's so heartwarming.
As you know, we see some of the stroke people, they get in that water and they're like a fish, and we're having a little trouble on the land. They get in the water, it's like watching
music
fish
on,
around
they're singing,
there.
They're swimming, they're like Michael Phelps.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
That's
So
really awesome.
This 2023, 2024 is going to be amazing. We hope you join in the programs. We do this for you at no charge. We stay up tirelessly at night creating, and texting back and forth of, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because we know you guys will love it. So if you're interested in neuropathy, if you're interested in strength and balance, all you have to do is come down to the Performance Center. We'll take it from there. Mark, you're the man, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on with us this morning.